Congratulations to South Africa for winning the 2024 Rugby Championship in an absolute masterclass of rugby from beginning to end, attacking, defensively, and all of the stars showed out. And I have to say, I'm really proud of Manny Libuk. He played an exceptional game and to me really redeemed himself. I know there was a lot of heat on him because of the kicking last week, but man, he played exceptional today. And I'm love to see that Russie gives and instills that confidence in his players where, even I said it last week. I was like, that's the last time we might see him in the box uniform because of that mistake. But Russie, that's the difference. That's why he's world class and a top coach in the world, because he instills that confidence and belief in his players and puts them back out on the pitch. So I love that he does that. And it just really helps make my mind grow even more instead of just, sort of kicking somebody while they're down and looking at that. He builds them back up and then just brings them back to the top. And I love seeing that. And South Africa does an exceptional job. So I just have to give a shout out to that. But what an absolute masterclass today by South Africa. We had Fossey scoring 2 tries. We had Steph DeToy scoring 2 tries. Colby doing his thing, shaking, scoring a try. Who else did we have? We had Malcolm Marks. That guy's exceptional, getting a try. 7 tries scored for South Africa, 1 by Argentina. But just a brilliant day of rugby for South Africa from beginning to end. And I have to give a shout out to Argentina as well for putting on an amazing and incredible rugby championship. They played their tails off this year. And the final standings for this rugby championship, we have South Africa winning it, New Zealand with a brilliant game played today. They get second. Argentina gets third, and Australia comes in fourth. But I absolutely loved it today, and I love the entire rugby championship. It was so great to see all these countries put on an absolute showcase, and this match today was just from beginning to end world-class rugby. And one thing, it's a super minor, but it's something that I noticed. The stadium that they were in today, and I'm not even going to pronounce the name of the stadium because I would probably butcher it, but it's the first time in my life actually that I can remember they have the red posts. Usually you see post or yellow, especially like in football, even in rugby, the world of rugby, I see yellow post. This stadium had red post, and I was like, that was super different. I said, I wonder how that changes the kicking side of the game. Is it hard to see? Does it make it stand out more like as seeing a target? I would be interested to hear how that affects the kicking, whether it makes it easier or harder to kick the ball through red post. And that's just one thing I noticed. I know it's super minor, but I just had to point it out because it ran across my mind when I was watching the match. But there's not much I have to say. We'll jump right into the stats. Absolutely incredible game from beginning to end. The attacking side, the kicking, the defensive, all exceptional. And I have to say, sending my thoughts and best wishes to Coco Barres. I was a nasty knee injury that he suffered. And right when I saw Fossey fall and hit his knee, that's a MCL or ACL injury. And I hope he didn't tear his knee, but just from the looks of it, it looks like he tore his MCL or ACL to me. I'll look at the reports, but sending all my best wishes and thoughts to Coco Barres, because that looked nasty right when I saw him fall. I was like, oh man, those are rough ones to watch, Qrew. But congratulations, South Africa, to winning this rugby championship. And congratulations to Argentina for putting on an absolute showcase this year as well. It's so fun to watch them play. And we'll jump right into the stats, Qrew. I want to hear your thoughts on this match and all the players. But there was so much going on. It was just it was a beautiful game of rugby today. So we have South Africa winning 48-7, absolutely putting it on Argentina, and they just looked fluid. They looked consistent. Their ball handling was incredible. Their defensive plays were great. Speed of ball, speed to the breakdown, just absolutely, just a showcase by South Africa. So they win 48-7. The point flow chart, it was all in favor of South Africa from beginning to end. And I said a plus 41 game for them. So it's a masterclass. Time in the lead, 76 minutes compared to 0 over the Pumas. 92% of the game in the lead compared to the 0% over the Pumas. South Africa, 43% of the possession in the last 10 minutes compared to 57. So the Pumas had it more in the last 10 minutes of the match. And 14-0 within the last 10 minutes. I know, what do you call it? Argentina had a red card and a yellow card. And so they were playing a couple men down, but being in the last 10 minutes, they absolutely put it on. They put it on Argentina in this match. So we'll go to the key events of this one from the beginning to the end. So Fossey starts it out the 7th minute. He scores. Hendrickse, I'm learning more about him. This is my first couple times seeing him in playing rugby. I really like his style. I know he missed a couple conversions today, but Hendrickse is a player that I'm watching and I'm learning more about, and I will continue to do more research on him. But it's my first or second time watching him play, and I like his style. But he gets the conversion at the 8th minute. PSDT gets the try at the 13th minute, bringing the game 12-0. Hendrickse converts 14-0 at the 14th minute. Then we have Argentina. 4 minutes after that, Albornoz it was just a brilliant passing set. The passing was fluid. It was well executed. Albornoz gets the try at the 18th minute, and he also gets his conversion, bringing the match to 14-7 with the 19th minute. Hendrickse gets the penalty goal. Qrew goes out with a yellow card because of that. That was a crazy. I thought it was almost going to be a red. Was it Fossey that went up to get the high ball? And Qrew, what was his saving grace is that he tried to attack the ball, and then Fossey swiveled his hips, but he flipped him, and thankfully it wasn't worse than it was, because that was just an absolutely could have been a bad play as far as like the way Fossey landed. But Qrew goes out at the 28th minute with that yellow card. Fossey scores at the 32nd minute. Colby scores with just a brilliant running style. I like my man Colby. He was out there getting loose out on the field today, and he was making some exceptional plays, man. Just fast feet, powerful runner, and I could talk about Colby all day. Absolutely love him, but Fossey's absolutely exceptional as well. Just an aggressive, tough man, and he puts his head on there. He plays some good rugby, man. So Colby scores the 37th minute. The score was 27-7 going into half. Coming out of half, both teams were looking solid, but I just really felt like South Africa, they were just on another level today, and there was nothing that Argentina could do to stop them. So at the 54th minute, we had Matera going out with the red card, and with the 67th minute, Qrew went out with a yellow card. So it's still 27-7 as we got into the last 20 minutes of the match. We have Malcolm Marx coming in, scoring from that maul, just rolling off like he does. Just a brilliant player. Love watching him play the game. Malcolm Marx is exceptional. Pollard comes and scores gets the conversion. We have PSDT getting his second try of the match, Pollard converting, and then the man Jesse Qrew, just so consistent, so intelligent, and just loved watching him play. All of the stars of South Africa showed up, and all of the supporting players showed up as well. It was just a full game that they played. And 77th minute, Pollard converts off of Crew's final try, the 7th try of the match, making it 48-7, and that is our ball game, Qrew, as we call it. And that was just a showcase of rugby, fun to watch. Looking at the 22-meter entry, 14-5, South Africa won that battle. 3.4 points scored, compared to 1.4 average for the Pumas. Looking at the attacking profile, we had South Africa winning in every category. 14-5 22-meter entries, 3.43 to 1.4 22-meter conversions. Line breaks, 17-3. South Africa wins that. 141 carries to 85. The South Africa just felt like they had the ball in their hands the entire match. They were just running around the field, and it was just a masterclass of rugby by South Africa today. 28 kicks to 16, and then post-meter contacts, 248 to 133. South Africa led on the attacking profile in every category. And defensively, if we look at this, dominant, it shows that the Pumas were winning all the categories, and as you've taught me over this year, it's basically not a win on a lot of these because if they're always playing on their heels and making a lot of tackles, it shows that they're not pushing the game in their favor, so to speak. So dominant tackles, 8-3. Pumas take that category. Tackles made, 166 to 104, and just because the Pumas were playing defensive the entire game, just trying to stop the attack from the box. Tackles missed, 30-19, so Pumas missed more tackles. Turnovers won, 6-4. Tackle turnovers, 3-0, and then tackle offloads allowed, 17-11. So Argentina was basically on the defense pretty much this entire match. The Box came out and made an absolute statement, and they were just putting it on. They were putting it on today. It was not their day. And as I know, and as some of you have said in the comments, these two nations, you call them the Bry brothers, because they have fun. They play hard matches together, but then they eat together in the Bry, have some good food, and just two tough, gritty nations. And they played each other, tough, man. I know when they were in Argentina last week, that was a close match. It wasn't a close match. What do you call it? Argentina won that match, but it was a close game. But then just coming out today, being on South African turf, there was just that South African energy. The crowd was roaring. The atmosphere was insane and electric. You could just feel that vibration through the screen, that energy, that passion from South Africa. And then South Africa, the Box delivered and just put on just a masterclass of a match. Looking at the ruck speed, 0 to 3 second within the ruck speed, 66% for South Africa, 49% for the Pumas. 3 to 6 second, 23% for South Africa, 36% for the Pumas. And then the 6+ seconds, 8% to 7%. South Africa won that category. And we have 99 rucks won compared to 65 rucks won for the Pumas. So South Africa had more ruck wins. And the last 5 penalties of the match, 3 for South Africa, 2 for Argentina. We're going to punch over to these stats real quick and take a look at this. So for the match summary, penalty goals 1-0. South Africa takes it. 7 tries to 1 for South Africa. Conversions 5-1. South Africa takes that. No drop goals. 141 carries to 85 carries. South Africa takes the next 3 categories. 17 line breaks to 3. 19 turnovers lost to 15 for South Africa. And then turnovers won. The Pumas take this category 6-4. If we're looking at territory advantage, it's 52% for South Africa and 49% for the Pumas. And starting from the left 22, it goes 18, 31, 21, and 31. So looking at this, the breakdown, South Africa was in the Pumas territory, that 21 to 31%, and the Pumas the South Africa was in the 22-meter entry, 31% compared to the 50-meter entry, 21%, and the Pumas were in the 50-meter entry for 31%, and they were in South Africa's 22-meter entry for 18% of the match. And I really like the possession breakdowns. So for the last 10 minutes, 43% for South Africa, 57% for the Pumas, and looking at that breakdown with the last 10 minutes. And for possession time total, 60% for South Africa, 40% for the Pumas. Starting at the Box, looking at their possession or their entry possessions, starting for their 22, it goes 7, 18, 45, and 30. So they were really dominant within the attacking 50-meter of Argentina with that 45%, and they were really taking advantage of their 22-meter entries with this 30% entry, and they were just putting in tries all day right there. And looking at the Pumas, starting from their 22, it goes 12, 17, 45, and 26. And the Pumas, as we saw on the big breakdown, they were in the 50-meter entry of South Africa 45% of the time, and their 22-meter entry 26% of the time. And so they were just not able to put the points on the board, and South Africa was just dominant in this game from beginning to end. Looking at the scrums and set plays, 10 scrums for South Africa compared to 7 for Argentina. 80% scrum wins for South Africa, 100 for the Pumas. Lineouts won, 16 for the Pumas, 10 for South Africa. Lineout win percentage, 100 for South Africa, 81 for the Pumas. 12 restarts for South Africa compared to the 2 for the Pumas, and both had 100% win percentage for the restarts received. Looking at the attacking, we saw it on the other page. We'll just go through it real quick. 189 passes to 118, 141 ball carries to 85, 248 for South Africa compared to 131 meters. South Africa wins all of these categories, and then 17 line breaks compared to 3. And there were just a lot of massive line breaks for South Africa. Colby was getting loose. Fossey was getting loose. We had Qrew. Marks was able to score. DeToy, absolutely, that's a freaking machine. Just an all-around well-played game by South Africa. Looking at turnovers, 6-4. The Pumas got 6 turnover wins compared to 4 for South Africa. And then South Africa had more turnovers lost with 19-15. Penalties in the game. 11 for the Pumas conceded and 7 conceded for South Africa. 2 yellow cards to 0 and 1 1 red card to 0. The Pumas had a rough day on the pitch with cards and penalty concessions, and also that red card by Mateo. And so that was just one of those games, man, that where when you're down, it's tempers rise a little bit, and just undisciplined at times, especially when a team is attacking as hard as South Africa was today. The defensive breakdown: tackles made 166 to 104 for the Pumas, 30 to 19 tackles missed. Pumas take that category. And then tackle completion, they're both at 85%. Total kicks 28 to 16. South Africa takes that category, and they have a 1.6.8 ratio for South Africa to a 1.7.4 kick to pass ratio for the Pumas. But overall, an exceptional game. And we're looking at the players of the game. Of course, you have the man, the captain, Sia Khaleesi. You have the Steph DeToy, Fossey playing an exceptional game. Qrew, Manny Libuk doing exceptional. Tackles lost or tackles completed. Pedro, and I'm gonna learn the Puma side, because those guys, it's hard to overlook them. Like you all mentioned, that they made it to the semifinals of the World Cup last year. So, and they're also playing exceptionally well in the Rugby Championship. It's hard to call them the underdog, because they've shown at this point, game after game, that they are a world-class side. And it's one of those things, it's hard to say that they're they're the underdog nations, because they've performed when they're on the world stage, and they continue to perform. Excuse me. We had Jasper Visa with 12 carries, Jesse Qrew with 11, and Damian Dialende playing an exceptional game as well. So I just had to highlight some of those names as far as what we had on the top statistics on that. But looking at the table breakdown for this match, just to show the final, South Africa wins the Rugby Championship with 24 points, 4 bonus points. New Zealand comes in second, 16 total points with 4 bonus points. Argentina, 14 points with 2 bonus. And then Australia, 5 total points with 1 bonus point. Absolutely incredible Rugby Championship. I loved seeing this and being a part of it, and I hope to get there next year and see this live in these incredible stadiums in all of the nations. That's the goal, and we'll definitely get there. I want to hear your thoughts on this match today, Qrew. What was your assessment of this one? I think it was an absolute masterclass. Everyone showed up from the South African side, and it was just a dominant game from beginning to end. A lot of fun to watch, and this Rugby Championship was exceptional. So I just have to give a last shout out to South Africa and congratulations for winning the Rugby Championship 2024. And I believe this is their first time winning since 2019. And as always, please correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but it's just an absolutely brilliant Rugby Championship played by them, and it was a lot of fun to watch. All of the nations really, I feel, showed up. Australia started to put form together, which is what I was happy to see, and we'll talk about that on another video. But congratulations, South Africa. I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for all your continued love, support, and continuing to educate me as you do each and every day and each and every week, Qrew. All of your support, your friendship has meant the world to me, and I continue to learn so much from you. And, we're going to continue to grow, educate myself, and connect as we always do, Qrew. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below on this match and this Rugby Championship total. And that'll do it for this one, Qrew. I love you. I appreciate you. Always stay laser focused on your dreams and your vision. And remember that you're in control. Catch you on the next one, all right? Take care, Qrew. Peace.